What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Doechii.
And it's your boy, Dante.
And y'all already know why we're here, to bring you the latest headlines in entertainment, sports, and music. And y'all know what we do. We determine whether it's for the culture.
Or simply just for clicks.
Yeah. Period. So, Dante, again, we're back in. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. And once again, I want to say, how you doing, Data Dawn?
What's going on?
The Bella Dawn, Data D.
It's your girl, all of them. All of them is me. I am every woman, and she is me.
And it's still your month.
Yes.
So before the month is over, I won't forget about you. I'm going to bring you some nice bouquet of flowers.
Oh, you should. That's so sweet.
Now, on my weekend, I want to say I had a pretty good weekend. I went home. I visited my mom. It was her birthday. So we had some time to kind of just celebrate her birthday with her. I actually enjoyed myself though.
Yeah.
I wanted to chill. Like there was a part of me that just really wanted to chill all weekend.
Yeah.
But outside of being there for her, I just actually got outside of the house a little bit. I did a lot of working out this weekend though too.
When are you not working out?
I know, but this weekend, abnormally, I did more than what I usually do. I did like 2 a day every day. I don't know why.
You probably needed to decompress a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I ain't have to worry about no schoolwork, no nothing. So I was good. So
Yeah.
all in all, y'all, I had a pretty good weekend.
That's good.
It was pretty chill. How about yours?
Mine was pretty good. So I had to work as a event manager for a women's wellness retreat over the weekend. So that was good. It was a 2-day retreat in Douglasville, Georgia, where they kind of just like reset and recentered. So they had like sound bath therapy, little spa sessions, little therapy sessions, and it was very, very cute. And well needed. Granted, I worked, so I didn't really get to just simply bask in the whole experience because I was managing everything and everybody, but it was overall a really good weekend.
Now, you want to know what I did notice over the weekend? I noticed your fans were chewing you up in the comments.
And they were coming for me. And the thing is, y'all be coming for me harder than y'all be coming for Dante. Y'all don't even do Dante the way that y'all be doing me. But you know what? It's cool. It is cool because I'm here for it. I'm truly here for it. If y'all know me, then y'all know that I'm one of those people that, like, we can talk about it. We don't have to always agree on everything. We don't have to even come to, like, a common space with everything either. But I just want everybody to know that I come from a place of love and realness. It is a mashup between the two. So you may go for what I'm saying. You may not go for what I'm saying. But I do value your opinion and always want to hear from you. And you will hear back from me.
It was the lady who wrote you the big dissertation on DDG.
Somebody asked me.
I'm like, she really went in detail.
Somebody said, sis, do you know what co-parenting is? First of all, I ain't got no kids, so I ain't got to worry about co-parenting with nobody. But second of all, I do know what co-parenting is since you want to be smart. But I love y'all. I love y'all. We could duke it out and then hug it out. Y'all ain't never heard of like tough love?
Tough love. No, for real. And we'll tell y'all, like, we support that. Like, that's what we want y'all to do. That's what we hear. We're here to spark that conversation. So please understand, this is y'all's safe place. Y'all can cuss us out, argue. We like family.
Yeah.
So we gonna cuss each other out, and then we gonna look at each other and say, you know what, cuz? You right.
You right.
You right.
You got a point.
You got a point.
You got a point.
I done did that to a few people in the comments.
No,
you know,
for
one
real.
lady, she was talking about Drake, and she kind of gave me her insight, and I was like, you know what? I like how you put that.
Yeah.
You gave me another insight.
Y'all might open our minds up to a whole nother angle that we wasn't thinking about. So I'm always here for it. The banter, the love, the slander, the praise, the everything in between, we'll take it.
Right, we definitely will. Now, you know exactly what I will take too. My girl Doechii is back in the media once again. If y'all know, this is a Doechii stan page. I am top #1 fan club member. You can find me at Dante at Doechii'sFanClub.com. Anxiety is back on the docket because once again it is trending. To have Doechii go from trending last week for Lauryn Hill, and then right after that now she's trending again for another one of her singles. If you ask me, just the back-to-back love that she's getting, I'm all here for it.
Me too.
And then I don't know if you saw, but even with the trend, she was able to get the attention of Will and Tatiana Ali, who played, in Will Smith, and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Mm-hmm. Now, if y'all don't know, the reason why that is so nostalgic and big, because in the original show, that is actually the song that was being played in her headphones. Mm-hmm. It was the original Anxiety song. Doechii's is just a remake. And that was the dance that they were doing. That was why they incorporated it into it. Yeah. Now, to see that all come back full circle and them actually embrace it the way they did, you know, I'm all here for it.
That was definitely a cute moment. And I love to, again, see Doechii spreading her oats. You know what I'm saying? Just really getting out there and doing some amazing things. Now, I will definitely say that this challenge is probably something that we will see more of. We got to see Tia Mowry do the challenge as well. We saw Demi Lovato do it. And there's a bunch of other Instagram influencers and TikTok people that are also doing this challenge. So I'm excited to see like how these things continue to unfold. But I'm going to say that this right here is definitely some clickbait for me, but great clickbait for Doechii.
It's honestly some good clickbait. And what this clickbait does is also brings in another clickbaity situation that's probably taking advantage of the situation, but it's good. Will Smith is actually just debuted that he's going to come out with an album on March 28th. Now, if you ask me, I am not mad at this.
No, I'm not either. And let's be clear, this might be a little prelude that we might get Doechii as a feature on the album. Because why is Will and Doechii linking up?
Exactly.
Let's talk about it.
The marketing is crazy now. You know, this could also open up doors for her in other ways. Yeah. And this just gives Will, I don't think, and please don't take this the wrong way, I don't think Will ever really lost his relevance. But I think agree. What it does do is bring back the attention that Will was a rapper before he even became an actor. Yeah. You know, y'all probably not know the eras of like the Wild Wild West. One of my favorite songs, Get Jiggy With It. Hey, I was just listening to that in the gym over the weekend.
For sure. And then what was the switch? The little switch song. Y'all remember the switch song where everybody was doing a little dance in the club?
His song Miami.
Yes.
Men in Black. Here comes the Men in Black.
Y'all, we play about Will a lot.
Well, Will is low-key a goat.
Some bops, low-key.
Low-key, Will is a goat. Y'all don't know.
Because we was switching. Lauren said you wasn't switching. You was switching when that came out, for sure. Now, you was probably on the wave, like, coming down off of Will, like, I don't know about this one, Will. But you definitely saw it on your 106 and Park Countdown. You definitely saw it on your music videos that we used to watch, the little Music Choice channel. You've seen that video, for sure. Well, at least our age group should have seen that video.
What I expect to get from Will, too, in this moment is a very lyrical project. Yeah. Because Will has always been a more lyrical rapper. So I do expect that from him, but I also feel like he's going to incorporate some nuances in it as well. For sure. To get the, you know, I don't think he wants a Gen Zers, so to speak, but I do think he wants to appeal to them in a way to know, like, I'm not just Will the actor y'all see. Yeah. I actually do music as well, you know. His kids do music. He also got Tiana Taylor as a feature on this project as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Oh, yeah. So he's definitely trying to appeal to a younger crowd, and as he should, because, like you said, Will never really lost his relevance. And this is a good way to bring him back to the forefront so that we can see some more of the accolades that he has made in music, because he has done some major things. So I think that Will coming out with an album is definitely for the culture.
I definitely second that. I think that Will with an album and a project and even whatever else he got coming is definitely for the culture.
For sure. Now, we got some more stuff going on, and our girl Summer Walker has been talking about her relationship with Rico Recklezz and how he has love bombed her and have been taking her on these lavish trips and doing all of these nice things for her. She's been to some of the best restaurants. She's been on yachts in Miami, and she is just loving life over there right now. Now, if y'all don't know the background story about this, Rico Recklezz has been trying to talk to Summer Walker for years. He had been sliding in her DM, writing her, and not getting no responses. And then one random day, she actually responded to one of the messages. Ever since then, they have been two little lovebirds just living it up all over the internet. Now, Dante, Summer Walker in relationships, I don't really think that they go together that well. I am happy to see her happy, and I am happy to see her in something that seems to be healthy at this point. But I'm still not over all of the previous relationships and how they roll out and how they have.
Was that a play on words? I'm still not over it.
Yeah, no, it was for sure. Very double entendre. Very.
Listen, Summer, come close. Let me hold your hand when I say this. I really don't want to hear no more about your relationships. And I love you to death. I love you. But for me to appreciate you more, and this is just me coming to you as if I was your little brother, and you probably like, boy, I don't care. You ain't my little brother. But I'm going to tell you anyway. If I was, I would say, sis, keep your relationships to yourself until it's official. Mm-hmm. And this might be official to you. It might be. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it devalues you the more we hear about your relationship. And then if you turn up and be in another relationship 2 months from now, it really brings down the credibility of how you see and view relationships.
Yeah.
Like, this guy could actually really love her to death how she says she do. But my only problem with it is that we've heard this story before.
Yes, it's always a major high that comes with a major low. And then the original story that we heard about them doing all of these beautiful things and taking care of you and wooing you, it always end in a big debacle where it was like he wasn't really even all of that and all of this. And it's like, if you keep us out of it, if you don't tell us, if you just get caught by blogs,
nothing to judge.
Yeah, like if you get caught by blogs and stuff like that because you are a high profile person, then understandable. But baby, we don't really have to know about it. We don't. Right.
If the blogs see it, they catch it, cool. But I personally wouldn't want you going out talking openly about the relationships.
No, just being it.
Until it's there, until it's for real. Even if we see it, you could post about it, but I don't want to hear the insides because I just want to actually, I want for her to enjoy her love without our approval.
Yeah.
Just like now, like without anybody having an opinion, I want her to actually enjoy the love for what it is.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have an opinion right now if we did not know.
Now, what is funny is that he changed his profile picture to a photo of her behind. That is kind of funny. That's
her booty cheeks. Dante trying to be politically correct. He put her glutes on there, and I just want to say that first of all, that's funny, but second of all, I want Summer to go back and get the body done again. But that's another topic for another day.
Some of what I will say though is that I like about this relationship. That means we gonna get some new music,
and it better be good too. No more heartbreak stuff. Give us the feels that you're feeling right now in this situation. Give us those feels like we want it. Because I could tell you, I don't have a heart of a woman. All that you wrote in that song, very cute song. But the things that you described in the verse, I'm not that girl. So give us some love. Give us some baby making music. Give us some feels.
No more sad bitch music. No. Give us the Summer that you saying online is happy right now. We want to hear her.
Literally.
I want to hear about your relationships and your music.
For sure. Now, Dante, is this culture or clickbait for you?
I'm gonna say for me, this is definitely clickbait. I'm sorry, Summer. But
yeah, no, sorry, not sorry, Summer. This is for sure clickbait.
Sorry, I ain't sorry.
Literally.
All right, Daysha, now we can't forget about the actor Jamal Woolard. If you don't know, Jamal actually played Notorious B.I.G. in the movie Notorious. Now, he recently did an interview with Claudia Jordan on a podcast, I'm believing that was, and he talked about his stance on relationships and why he doesn't date specifically African American black women. He mostly dates outside of his ethnicity, such as like Spanish, other I would say African, but not American African, Syrian, Jamaican, just not anybody from America, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me, some of his statements, I'm not even gonna hold you, and please don't kill me. I'm not saying that it was all bad, but he did make some valid points.
For sure.
And if you ask me, Daysha, because I really want to get your take on this, I think a lot of it, what he was trying to say without saying the right words, was that most of it is the cultural differences.
Yeah.
And the teachings of the upbringings at home versus the actual women themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people was taking it as, oh, are you just saying you don't like black women and that's why you date other ethnicities? I don't really think that's what he's saying. I think he really feels like other ethnicities teach their women how to treat their men as far as like catering to them and being a king, versus the American modernized women. They don't come from that same upbringing. The upbringing is more so what you can get out of him
Yeah.
and what you expect for him before you even put your best foot forward.
Yeah, for sure. I think that his statements were very valid. He did state at first, he said that the other women are better, and then he corrected himself upon offending the 2 black women that was sitting right there on the podcast, and he said, well, let me rephrase that. I think that they are different. There is a valid stance on the fact that there is a difference because, again, American black women, we are a little bit more modernized. We come from an era of empowerment and being feminist and getting all of these accolades and providing all of these things for ourselves. So sometimes our standards can be a little crazy. And I don't think that he's wrong in reference to that. Like, he simply gave an example of this was his example. American women more so are driven by like money, wanting to attend all these high-end restaurants, wanting bags, wanting BBLs, all of these different things. And then you have these foreign women who we consider to be foreign women. You have them who he can take anywhere. Money still plays a factor for both type of women, but the other women are a little bit more open. They're more prone to treating him like a king versus him pulling out of the other women to give him king treatment. And I feel like it's some truth there. But my dialogue to Jamal will be, baby, listen. So I personally think that you didn't give us a fair shot. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel like you didn't give us a fair shot simply because maybe once you tapped into a certain threshold of money, notoriety, and changing of yourself, you also were able to tap into a class or a group of women that probably wasn't that accessible to you when you first came out or when you first was introduced to the industry. So you sort of kind of got ran through by those women because that's who you chose. And you chose them because you had the money and the power to choose them, but they aren't people who would have naturally chose you. And my advice will be to choose people who choose you despite your status, how much money you have, who you are, and what you can do. And that might be why a bad taste was left in his mouth. So that's why I say that it's some validity to what he was saying. But I think that certain conversations are about the dialogue between the two, not you're right, you're wrong. The dialogue. So how did you get here?
Right. And I always say that, anytime I have conversations with people, even here, I'm always on the side of, I would never discredit your experience because I can't tell you that your experience with black women has not been that. Right. Who am I to tell you that? I'm not in your shoes. But
how did you pick them?
Just like Claudia said, if you're going after the woman who, cliche is the woman with the BBL, the Instagram models, the ones that booking in bio, all these types. If that's what you're going for, what do you expect? What you're gonna get? You're gonna get that. I honestly also employ any man or any woman in this day and age. If you're dating, just at the beginning of the dating stage, just date to actually date.
Yeah.
So what the textbook word means.
Yeah.
Date to get to know the person, understand them. Because honestly, you save yourself so much time that by the time you actually end up in a relationship with them, you realize, I don't want to be with that person anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like ask the tough questions when you're in the process of dating with people. I know a lot of the times the girls will get on the internet and be like, ooh, my first date was cringy because he was asking me stuff like, and it's like, what do y'all want? Get the tough questions out the way so that you can gauge whether it's something you want to further indulge in or you just completely want to retract and don't want to do it. I do also want to say in reference to this whole thing that I think that yes, there's cultural differences amongst the different nationalities that he named of the women, but women gon' women. So there's some African women who are also just driven by the bag and what you could do. There are some Jamaican women who are also driven just by the bag and what you can do. There are Syrian women, Dominican women, and every other woman in between that does the same thing. I don't think that we could 100% characterize this by a nationality type situation. I understand how, like, statistically you might have Asian women who are a little bit more submissive than black women are, so I'll take that from that stance. But women gon' women across the board.
My guy, I'm gonna just tell you like this: get whoever gonna trick on you.
Ew.
If she ain't tricking on you, then you ain't tricking on her. Period.
I guess, child, get your little trick in, Bookie.
Because I know some women that trick.
They do.
They trick heavy.
And they probably not the black girls. So I mean, maybe we proving.
Nah, even the black girls, the black girls tricking for real. One thing about a black woman, a black queen, she gonna trick if she like you. That's how you know she like you. If she like you, she gonna trick.
Not the queen. Not you throwing the queen on there. Add a little sprinkle on top, like yeah.
You know, good morning, queen.
Ew.
Don't ever say that though. That's
God.
gonna turn them off.
Now, Dante, is this culture or click?
I'm gonna say this is another one of those clickbait moments, but it's clickbait with good reason. Why? Because the conversation is cultural. It's a conversation that has been going on for quite some time that needs to be had because it is a lot of cultural differences that stem from these conversations. So I would say it's a clickbait that's meant to be cultural.
Yeah. I'll say that it is a cultural conversation as well, because obviously we're talking about different ethnicities and nationalities and different cultural backgrounds, which has helped him come up to this whole stance in general. So I would say it's for the culture. And let's be clear, he's not the first nor last man that has stated this type of situation. So that's why it's not like a wildfire for me. It's one of those things, it's like, we heard this before. And honestly, as American black women, if we have a problem with it, let's go back to the drawing board and learn more how to resonate with our softness and our femininity more than anything.
So, yeah, once again, it's for the culture. And it's for the clickbait. Bow. That was just play on words.
Every time I'm getting ready to say something, you need to say something else. So we have Kanye and Kim who are back in the public eye right now, and it's simply because Northwest is featured on the song that has King Combs and Diddy on it, and it was put together by Kanye, and Kim is not going for it. She completely stated that she's against this whole feature happening, and she's going to do everything in her power to make sure she stopped this situation from happening. Now, as we saw this unfold, there was a little back and forth on the socials about who has sole ownership on the kid's name trademark, which belongs to Kim Kardashian, and she was given permission to have that ownership by Kanye per the text messages that we saw. So my girl said that she's going to do everything in her power to make sure that this song does not see the light of day. Dante, how do you feel?
So, in the case of Kim, right? Kim and Kanye. I'm honestly not mad at Kim.
Me neither.
And this is why I'm going to tell y'all I'm not mad at Kim. Kanye is reckless with his own name, his own likeness. So I get why Kim needs or feels the need to step in and say, I need to mitigate this because my child is involved.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what you do with yours.
My girl child.
You know, I don't care what you do with your name. I don't care how reckless you are, but you need to read the room.
Yeah.
In reading the room is understanding that we're not by any means saying that Diddy's a bad person. You know, that's subjective. But what we are saying is the room right now is not the room I want my daughter and his name attached to.
Yeah. It's not that climate right now.
Right. You know, let's wait. Let's let this blow over. And then if it's feasible, you know, if it's doable, we can return to that. But not right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like that's her whole thing about stepping in. Now the conversation that they're having via text message about him being upset that she has the trademarks, it also goes back to what you said last week about how sometimes when you're co-parenting, when you're together, it's like everything is cool, but then you break up, then it's like everything goes haywire and you don't know how to act. It's kind of that type of same situation to me, is because from the text messages that she revealed, he had at once said it was okay for her to get the sole trademarks on the kid's name. Now he's recanting that, saying, I never said that. But then also said, letting her know that if she didn't stop it, you know, it's going to get nasty for her.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be forced to do other things.
And you see, I'm not mad at Kim for taking this stance either, because like you said, reading the room is extremely important. But even bigger, this is a girl child. a little girl child who's coming out and trying to create her brand identity, and to build her brand identity and have her doing features this early on that has Diddy on it. I don't think King Combs is the issue, because we're not going to chastise the kids or make the kids suffer behind their grown parents' decisions to do certain things. I don't think that that's fair, and I don't think that she has a problem with that in particular. But back to you saying that Kanye don't know how to read the room. We all know that Kanye don't know how to read the room, and I don't think that Kim is new to the fact that Kanye don't know how to do that. I think Kanye is gonna always Kanye, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. But in reference to their child, I definitely feel like keep the song, just take Diddy off of it. Like, there'll be more time, you know what I'm saying, for if she grows up and makes a solid decision that she wants to work with him or have a feature with him or anything like that, she can do that. I just feel like the climate right now is just simply not the time for it, and not with everything that's surrounding his name. Now, in Kanye's mad scientist ingenious mind, he's probably thinking this is the perfect wave to ride. So I think it's just a disconnect in the thought processes, and I think that, again, it's about a dialogue between the two.
And now the sad part about that, because what you said makes total sense, especially for Kanye. I do think in Kanye's mind it's kind of a let's ride this wave type situation. And that's half the problem, because every wave ain't meant to be rode.
No, baby.
You know, this is a situation like, we can't play like that. You can ride the wave all day.
Yeah.
Don't put my child in your mess.
Yeah.
It's how Kim is coming off. Like, don't put my child in that.
And I don't think that that's wrong. I don't
either. If you ask me, this is a clickbait moment, and I beat the gavel.
Yeah, no, this is
clickbait.
Definitely a clickbait moment. And who else better to have a clickbait moment other than Kanye?
Kanye himself. Now, something I do think is for the culture, though, is the conversation that Anthony Mackie has just recently had in an interview on the Pivot podcast.
Yes.
Now, you guys, if you don't know who Anthony Mackie is by name, Anthony Mackie is Mr. Captain America. Dun, 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 dun.
He is.
What I look like?
A dummy.
You supposed to say a damn snitch. But anyway, if y'all don't know who Anthony Mackie is, he is Mr. Captain America. Now, recently in the interview, he stated that he feels as though American masculinity is dying because of just the media and what the media has portrayed American masculinity to be. Yes. He also goes in further into the interview where he talks about like how he runs his household, how he teaches his boys to be the men of the house, especially in his absence. And I think this all just goes around his whole idea of just keeping that masculinity and what it means to be masculine, not the toxic masculinity, but what it actually means to be a masculine man in this society, in his household. And I'm not mad at it.
No, me neither. I think that he's enforcing the idea of his sons to grow up to be men who are providers and protectors. So I don't think that nothing is wrong with that. I love this interview because I liked how he talked about how in his absence, he would tell his oldest son to make sure front doors is locked, back doors is locked, alarm is set. You're the man of the house. You're here to protect. You're here to serve. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's an amazing way to build up a boy child to be a great man along the lines. And also in this interview, he did a great job at talking about the whole idea of things being earned versus things being given. He basically stated that the whole idea of you earn things is kind of reversed in his mind. He's basically saying that you are given things versus earning them. And I think it's some truth there. I do think that you have to put in work for your name to even be put at the table. But the reality of the situation, and like he explained on the podcast, everybody that's on the podcast are football players. A scout had to come and look at all of y'all. It's 100 of y'all on the field, but only 5 of y'all are going to be chosen. So no matter how much work or no matter how hard the other 95 felt like they earned that position, somebody is going to come in and choose you and give you the position.
Give you the opportunity. Yeah.
So that's very valid.
And when he said that, I understood exactly what he meant as well. Because, you know, in his quote, he basically said that success is not earned, it's given.
Yeah.
And he even used the example of how, you know, he see actors go from one role or a struggling actor to they're getting many roles, Grammys, and all type of awards. And it makes sense, honestly, because all of those things, you have to be chosen for them.
Yeah.
Imagine how many people we see every day in the media, in music, in the film world, you know, even in business, who work hard on a daily. And we talking about they putting in their 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
But they still don't get some of the accolades that the person who maybe is doing less than them are getting.
Right.
And half the time, it's kind of like the age-old saying, it's not what you know, but who you know, but also who knows you.
Yeah.
It literally comes back to that. And so when he put it that way, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get exactly what he means. Because at first I was like, well, what do you mean by that? But after he explained it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I don't think that he's discrediting doing the work.
He's basically letting you know, to let your kids know, like, there is a level of shit. You need to be known as well.
Yeah,
you
it's a level of patriarchy, and that's what I said. I'm looking, my tongue.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, like, it is a process. Like, you're not gonna outright just be given something because you feel like you earned it. That is like a fairy tale reality.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that he put it that way, because it does relieve the idea that, you know, because especially think about a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
A kid who works hard in school all the time, but they probably didn't get valedictorian, or they didn't get some of those accolades, and they was like, oh, I deserved it. I supposed to have it. I did the work. But it's not only about that.
Yeah, it removes the ego
from
the situation, because do the work. Just do the work. Do the work and not expect anything on the other end of it. Do it because you're passionate about it. Do it because you love it. Do it because it make you feel good. But don't always expect to win just because you did it.
If you ask me, you could put that same ideology into relationships.
Yeah.
Because relationships kind of run the same way. No matter how much you put in, you might not be the one to get chosen.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get out of it.
I feel like it relieves the whole pick me idea.
Yeah.
And it just puts you at reality, like, I can do all of this and I still might not get chosen.
It also puts you in the reality of, I'm waiting for my moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Versus feeling like I gotta have a moment. No, I'm waiting on my moment. Or feeling like this should be my moment. All of those have different contexts depending on the words that are there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a very cultural conversation that needed to be had, and some may have received it, some may have missed it, but I think once he gave his examples, he did a great job of breaking down his whole analogy.
I definitely think this for the culture. Anytime Anthony Mackie speaks, and I don't know if any of y'all, I would implore you guys to go look at some of his older interviews. He always dropped gems in his interviews. Yeah. Always. So for me, this is definitely for the culture.
He was very much Captain American in. Now, you guys, we have Lil Boosie Badass. My boy, I love Boosie. We have Boosie, who recently did a interview on the Jason Lee show on Zeus Network. And this was a 2-hour interview that was really, really good. Now, some of y'all may feel otherwise, because y'all know one thing about Boosie, he's very controversial, and he's gonna definitely give us all the feels. He's gonna give us some advice. He's gonna give us some hood uncle shit. He gonna take us up there. He gonna give us some traditional stuff, and then he gonna come back around. But in this interview, something that has been highlighted all over social media is Boosie talking about him not allowing his kids to smoke or do any drugs, and that he drug tests his teen boys just to make sure that they're not doing anything. And the infamous conversation here has been about Boosie even being a stickler about them smoking weed. I ain't mad at it, as he should. They're teenagers, and like he said, you're not gonna be me. You're not gonna be me. Your situation is not like mine. I had an absent father. You got your mama and your daddy. I didn't have that much money. You got parents who got money and a bunch of stability. So there's no reason that you should be walking down the same path that I walked down when your situation is not the same.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that, especially because you got to look at like Boosie's upbringing. He was basically raised on the streets.
Yeah.
His kids aren't.
Nope.
So he feels like they shouldn't have to go through those same things that he did. That's not what he worked hard for.
Right.
He worked hard to get him a different lifestyle. And I'm not mad at that. And now I want to truly say this, right? I think Boosie is one of those people who's like unintentionally funny.
Yes.
Because he be dropping a lot of gems too. But it goes right over your head because you're too busy laughing at the jokes that he make or the mannerisms or just like how he comes off, the delivery. But it actually be some real shit. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, if I could have 24 hours with Boosie, I swear I would.
I would really hang with him too.
I would hang with this man all day just so I can laugh and get some gems.
I actually like when Boosie have his little moments where he get into like his pastor mode. It's like a hood pastor mode. He has like a inflation voice
he ain't no
he
Baptist
like,
pastor.
well, what the hell you wanted me to do? He'll just start yelling at you mid-interview and it be like, oh shit, my bad, unk. But no, Boosie always says some real stuff and people might miss it. People might think that it's harsh. Like he even talked about domestic violence and what that looks like and though he said instead of pulling out a gun, because they asked him about the Tory Lanez and Megan thing, and he said that his mom told him when he was younger, a gun shouldn't even be pulled out around a woman to begin with. But he stated, if you want to smack her, if you want to smack her or jack her up or something like that, I'd rather you do that over than pull a gun out on her. And granted, that is not something that he should be saying, but the reality of the situation is that's something that does happen within our culture, and I'm sure was very prominent back in his upbringing. He spoke about it being something that he saw in his household. He definitely stated like, my dad ain't never hit my mom with a closed fist or nothing like that, but she did deserve moments where she needed to be jacked up. Do I support it? I do not. But is it the reality of what has taken place in many of people's households, in many of people's family, and within our black culture, and not just our culture?
All culture.
It happens with Caucasian people. It happened with them same foreign women that Jamal was talking about. It happened with African women. So it is something that is within the culture, probably not as highlighted now. And we appreciate that. Y'all get right and get y'all lives together. But Boosie also said like he come from a Baptist background. So some of his stances on stuff is very traditional and old school. He not going for certain stuff.
I mean, old school wise, let's just be honest. Back in the day, they was definitely popping them women all across that room. But I'm not supporting that either. Now, shake a little bit, you know. Ooh. Don't push. Just shut up.
Oh, friend, they gonna drag your ass.
But I didn't say I do that, by the way. I said I've seen that.
Walk away and just
we draw
leave.
a line in the sand.
Don't even shake her. My God, Dante.
Y'all, I was joking. It was a joke. Please don't.
Nah, if I'm being completely honest,
we're talking about the reality of what actually happens every day.
I could see a moment where I needed to be shook, to be told shut up too. I don't know if it would have worked, but I can identify with the moment where if that was the resolve, I could understand how I put myself in that situation.
I feel bad if a man shake you because I think that's gonna come next, and I'm talking about from you. He shake you, you gonna
swing.
Bah!
Oh yeah, I'm swing.
You swing.
It's a
shake.
Don't touch me. But granted, girl, shut up. And that's something else that I don't want to do. I don't want to shut up. Now, this was an overall really good interview because Boosie even talked on his feelings about the Super Bowl, about the fact that certain people from Louisiana was not in it, but he also gave Kendrick his flowers. He talked about a whole bunch of different stuff, and I think that he does a great job with having a dialogue between the two versus like just placing blame on stuff. Now, Dante, I'm going to say that this conversation was definitely a conversation for the culture. What you think?
I'm gonna say this was anything with Boosie. I ain't gonna lie. Anything with Boosie is usually clickbait to me. But it was the first time I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna put Boosie as culture.
Really? He be saying some real shit.
Right, but I ain't gonna. The last few dockets we had Boosie on was all clickbait.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give him cultural for this one though. But y'all got culture today. He get the culture train.
I fuck with the long way.
Now, Daysha, we can't leave here today without talking about some of the new music that's going on.
Yes, sir.
Now, if y'all don't know, Lil Baby, Young Thug, and Future has just recently put out new visuals to their new single that came out, Dum Dumb Dumber. Now, if you ask me, I saw the video. The video was was kind of cool. I ain't even mad at it. And for a while, I ain't gonna lie. Now, Lil Baby, y'all don't hate me, but Lil Baby ain't been on the front of my docket these days, and I'm a fan. But I have been being let down. But now, I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this. So Lil Baby, shouts out to you, because that was actually great.
Yeah, no, the visual was definitely very cute. I think that these three guys as a feature, this should do some numbers, because like you said, Lil Baby has not been on the forefront of my mind. He also has been very quiet, you know what I'm saying? And when he did pop back out with music, it trying to give us commercial music, and I wasn't the audience for it. But what I'm excited about here is the fact that we get to hear Thug. That's what I love about this whole situation. Future gonna always hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Future is one of those timeless talents that can come in and out of certain pockets of music. He could make music, he could stop making music, and he could come back again, and he'll still know how to get in the flow of things. So I feel like Future, for the most part, doesn't really do any wrong sonically. But all three of them together is holding it down for Atlanta, Georgia hard.
No, definitely. That is definitely some Atlanta cultural things happening right there. If you ask me, that is for the culture. And Lil Baby, you earned your cultural flag today.
For sure. Now, we also have Leon Thomas, who, what did Leon Thomas do?
He got Chris Brown featured on the new single. Baby, I'm a dog, I'm a man.
I'm mad because why did my brain go blank on that? But you really do love Mutt, so I see why. Mutt is one of those good songs to me, but it's not my favorite song on that project.
Mutt is my shit.
I know, you said you play it like 10 times a day.
Maybe I'm a dog and a mutt.
Now, what I'm happy about is the fact that Chris Brown is featured on here, and those two voices together just give me very sultry but angelic and powerful at the same time. Like, it gives neo soul meets R&B feels, and I feel like it covers everything for me. But Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying account for Chris. Chris don't really do no wrong.
I was gonna say, as I said, Chris Brown really does no harm on any feature. The sad part with any feature that Chris Brown is on is usually he dominates it.
Yeah,
that be the problem.
But Leon held it down.
Right, Leon definitely doing his thing
for sure.
Now I think you got your wish too. So I saw a video of Leon Thomas doing a performance, and I say, oh, his style is pretty dope this time.
Okay.
We gotta show you the video, because I was like, all right, he must have heard Daysha say what she said.
I hope he did.
You know, you be throwing them little reels, and they be.
I really do. I'm like that. So Raven, I have a vision. I have a vision, and then my vision comes to life. It's like y'all really do end up hearing it, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Now, if y'all don't know behind that joke, I've always told Daysha she gives me Raven Simone in her main rhythm, and she looked like Raven low key. Raven, y'all gotta do a face by picture duel.
He always send me that so Raven clips and be like, these the faces you be making on the show, and it'd be pretty spot on. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, for sure.
What she say? You can see into the futura.
I can, obviously.
Now, while we're talking about Chris Brown, another thing has happened that's pretty great for Chris Brown is that the Residual challenge is still going up. Yes. Now, if y'all haven't seen, a lot of the R&B artists came in and started doing the challenge. You had Tank that did his rendition of it, Jacob Lattimore, which I'm not gonna lie, Jacob Lattimore is one of my favorites because it hit home for me. He was speaking my brain, like, bro, you was speaking my mind. Yeah. Like, I was begging too.
I was begging too.
I feel you, dog. I feel you. And then, of course, Chloe Bailey just came with hers. I loved it, though.
Yes, I always like when Chloe makes her own version of the song. That's something that she's been doing before people started opening up all of these different challenges and stuff like that. She always was taking people's songs and remaking it and doing her own little thing. I think that she has an amazing voice, so it's very hard for her to not hit the mark for me.
Chloe is definitely, honestly, top 3 vocalist of this time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
R&B. I give her no lie.
For sure. But we cannot talk about the Residuals challenge without talking about Mr. R. Kelly himself.
Mr. Robert Kelly. Where my money?
He said, who is spending on my coin?
And he said, I ain't talking about no chick.
No. Did you hear talking about everybody else? Lawyer fees, all of these people. But R. Kelly snap.
I'm not gonna hold you.
R. Kelly snap.
R. Kelly, he did that.
Y'all might be mad at us for saying that, but guess what?
Don't hold it over me.
Hold it over me, hold it under me. The man did what he needed to do.
And he wasn't even talking about what y'all were talking about. He was talking about money.
Yes.
What it showed me is how versatile he is.
Yeah.
It showed that R. Kelly can turn anything into a freaking song.
And let's talk about it. Remember
Debate
he said,
your mama.
Remember he said he wrote them 25 albums? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all might need to be trying to get a hold of them albums that my boy been writing since he been in there. Cause the Residuals challenge hit. It really did. The vocals still there. The penmanship and the writing still there. It's just like this is so unfortunate because I think that the masses think that when people make major or drastic mistakes that they become throwaway people, because anytime we give anybody who's incarcerated for something that is like frowned upon or is something that's truly considered to be bad in society and just morally, I think that y'all think that these people become throwaway cases, and that's not the situation. I don't think that's fair. Tory is not a throwaway case. He can still be a great artist while he's serving his time and getting the consequences of whatever the actions were. Exactly. Y'all didn't throw away a lot of people. Y'all should have thrown away Ike. Y'all should have thrown away Drake. I mean, not Drake, Lord, Dre. Y'all should have thrown away Dre beating on Michelle like that. That lady had to get a whole new nose. It's just so many people that if y'all wanted to throw people away, y'all had some people to throw away. Granted, all of these people still, to me, get a certain amount of grace when it comes to their artistry, because a lot of these things fall under like sicknesses. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's
my whole point. So, and I'm not gonna go into a whole R. Kelly debate with y'all today. I don't care. But what I will tell you is that separate the music from the man.
Talent is talent.
If you can't, cool. I understand. That's your prerogative. That's your pedigree. That's you. But me personally, I'm not that attached to these people. I'm an Aquarius by heart. I can detach. I could care less about what you're doing in your personal life. Give me the music.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
For sure.
Now, if you ask me, everything in music today was for the culture, especially the Chris Brown's Residuals challenge. I got to get in on mine, though. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of what I've been writing.
Oh, my God.
Don't know when my life became so complicated. All right, that's all
you did say you was begging.
I was begging.
You probably could.
I was on my knees.
Oh, wow. Stand up, friend.
Stand up.
If anybody ever make you get on your knees again and it ain't to propose.
I was almost there.
Oh, my God. Oh, okay, well, I see why you was down on bending knee.
I'm down on bending knees. All right, I know production is getting tired of my singing for today.
We are. Now, before we wrap up music, we have to talk about Mr. Babyface himself, the great, the incomparable, the amazing Babyface. Now, Babyface recently had a performance where he performed a couple of the songs that he has written for other artists.
Now, if y'all don't know some of Babyface's greatest hits, now, one of my favorite, Love Should Have Brought You Ass Home Last Night.
Not Ass Home Last Night.
Baby, with Toni Braxton. But then you also got End of the Road with Boyz II Men. And what are a few others, Daysha?
We also have Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk, which is very infamous. I think everybody and their mama know, whether you are above 50 or you in your teens. I'm almost sure you know that song. But Babyface has been a staple person in the industry for a long time. And he's like officially getting to the point where he's like, we could see him aging. Mm-hmm. I feel like now. For a long time, I feel like Babyface truly had a babyface.
No, for real. Like, the man didn't age.
No, he didn't at
all.
all.
And I will also implore you guys, if you don't know and you need to do some Babyface research, go watch Babyface's Tiny Desk performance. Yes. To me, it's still top 5.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to him. The vocals are still there. He's still writing currently in music. Like, he co-wrote Snooze. Like, he's really still doing stuff, whether he's making a lot of noise behind it or not. He put out an
all-female album, too, with him, and it was like Coco Jones on there. Who else? Ari Lennox, and a few other artists, but it's all girls. Kalani, he did literally an all-women's album, came out the year before last.
Yeah, for
still
sure.
Good.
For sure. So with that being said, we have to make sure that we respect the legends, do the work, go study these people in their great moves and the great things that they did, so we can always get them their flowers, because Babyface is one of those ones that deserve.
You can't say you're a music connoisseur and you don't know Babyface.
Come on.
To me, you lose your hat.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Now, that was another great episode of Cultural Clickbait. You know who I am. I'm your boy, Dante Brown.
And I'm your girl, Doechii.
And y'all know what we do. We take the hottest topics in sports, music, and entertainment, and we decide if it's for the culture.
Or simply for clicks.
And we out of here. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. Bow. Coffee.